realized in my singles journey, I realized that what connects me to people, or what I want from a significant other, from my future husband, is I want him to get me. I realized that my inner circle, my inner court friends, this could be with friends, family members that you connect with the most. What I see that's a common factor in all of the type of relationships where I connect with someone on a deeper level, is that we have similar mindsets. We process stuff and think about things very similar. And so it makes it easier to connect because you feel understood and heard. And so you have less moments of over explaining yourself to people, right? Or to a significant other, or to your friends, my besties. We get each other to the point where we can finish each other's sentences, or they know where I'm going. It's like, Cheryl, I know where you're going. I know where you're going. We have more moments of that type of experience when we communicate and relating with each other than conflict on a constant level. And I realized that's what I want with my husband. I know everybody don't agree with they want their husband to be their best friend, but I do. I've experienced it before, and I know what it's like, and I want that. I'm around a lot of people who have that. You have your other besties too, but you also want your husband. That's someone you live with and share space with, or your wife. You want to share space with someone that you have less conflict in as well, and you want to be understood. And I believe that it makes better, effective communication when you have that. I experienced that again with friends, my inner circle, and I know a lot of couples who have that. It didn't take 100 years to get there. Some people, yes. It might have been more conflict in the beginning, but they had a mindset, which was still great, to grow. So you can grow into that, but it's so much easier because, see, I know, and I know people use this term a lot, but I realized this about myself many years ago, is that I can say kind of a sapiosexual, however you want to pronounce that, because I am excited, I am attracted, I am stimulated by intellect, by certain level of intelligence. When I say intellect, we can go deep. We can have deep conversations. I'm funny, I'm light, I'm hysterical. I have people laughing on the floor sometimes when I don't even know I'm being funny. And people just say, you just funny, girl, the way I'm all of that. I'm empathetic. But what what really turns me on, I'm going to say it like that, is when the atmosphere is set for it, we can go deep. Because I'm a ditch digger. That's even the way I like to approach the text, especially when I'm in a mode of teaching. Oh, I want to talk about I want to describe, give a description. I want to highlight certain things. I want to talk about the temperature of the day and what the people were dealing with, what level of pressure they were under. And I want to compare it to something that we can relate to in the world, because Jesus, he taught in parables, and he illustrated pericopes, right? So people can understand, they can relate. That's why I love the scripture when it says, "In all you're getting, get an understanding." I love when somebody else is the same way, but we can go deep. We can search. We can pull up, root up, pluck apart, and then put back together again. That's the way I think and I process. And so, of course, it is so much more connectivity when I'm with somebody who is similar in that way. And so I won't appear to be too much for him, or vice versa, because we get each other. We both can go there. And then there's a way, even in that situation, when we feel like, okay, we're getting deep, let's get back to the surface. We're going deep in the ocean. We can pull each other's coattails without offending each other or feeling a certain way, because we get that we both can go there. So we can go, oh, honey, come on back now. We going deep. Let's just stay here. But we get it. There's a level of empathy and understanding and grace there, because we're similar in our thinking and our processes. So we can pull each other like, let's wind. Okay, you know what? I love that. And I experienced that again, especially in my friendships. And so I know that if that man don't have that certain level of intellect and don't go deep. And when I mean intellect, like think deeper about things. I'm a thinker. I need a thinker. So when it's that time that he needs to be deep, he can go deep. He can go there. I like to admire and be inspired by the person I'm with. Especially when you in a role where you're always the main one who inspires, uplifts, pour out. I do that in my leadership role. I do that in my role as a minister. I do that at work as a counselor, behavioral therapist. I do that all the day. I do that as a life coach. That is the role that I play in so many aspects of my life. And so absolutely, I want to be with somebody that can pour into me and I can just sit and rest and best. I love it. Oh my God. Feed me. I want to be able to feed each other. I want us to feed each other. I want to sit back and get fed. And so I realized that about myself. And that's the wonderful thing. My main point is about when you're single, you get to understand yourself more. You know what your needs are. You know who you are, your values, what excites you, your stress threshold, your distress level or distress skill level. That's something else. I don't want to get too clinical. But when you know that, then you better match with somebody. You know who you're compatible with. Because if you're a surface level thinker, you lose me. I get lost. I'm like, yeah. And I don't want to ever be in a situation where I'm almost subconsciously gaslighting you. And I'm not one to intentionally do that, but I can see how that can happen because I know thoughts that may come to my mind. I've experienced talking with someone, and every time when it was time to think deep about stuff, or I make inquiries about certain things just to get the person's aspect or mindset or opinion about something, that person always said, I'm gonna have to get back to you on it. I don't have anything to say about it. But that was a constant. I was like, oh my God, you don't, what's going on up here? Are you thinking about things in the world? What's going on? I know I like to understand people's behavior, why they do what they do. I was this way from a kid. It had nothing to even do with my profession. That just made it more broad and intense, right? But I've always been that way as a child. I wanted to understand the why and the how. Because see, for me, that makes me stay humble and empathetic. I'm an empathic listener and an empathic person, which means my EQ is high. Higher, most likely, than my regular intelligence when it comes to academic stuff, even though I did well, but still. What's more effective for me in ministry and as a counselor and a coach, my ability to reach people and go where they are and try to understand the world through their lens, how they see things. It's not about agreeing, it's about understanding. But because I said agreement, it made me think about, I want to be in a relationship that we have more moments of agreeing. I'd rather that be higher than the conflict level. I don't want a conflictual relationship where we're constantly, because we just think different, our perception is different, or you perceive what I don't know, you go left because your perception of what I'm saying is, you're not grasping or understanding. I'm talking about somebody who's on a surface level, so that's what I need. And so what's your connection? What connects you, your connectivity tool? No, what's inside of you that connects you with people and that attracts you toward people? Look in your inner circle. Look at who's in your inner circle. I'm about to cook dinner right now. I am up here making some salmon. Who's in your inner court of friends? Why are you close with the people you connect with? Now, I'm not talking about dysfunctional, unhealthy relationships, because some of us have that, or you have trauma bonding relationships. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you connect, you feel like you get each other, and that's the glue that keeps you together. Even in times when you disagree, you have more moments where you're right, you're there, you're here. It's like you right there. Now people go, you here, I'm here, I'm with you, I'm with you. They get it. It's organic. You don't have to force that connection to happen. It happens organically. There's a joy and there's a peace that comes in relationships like that. It's like, God, I don't feel like I have to fight with you. Oh, how many of y'all been in relationships where it feel like a fight all the time? There's more incidents of fighting and conflict than there are of unity, singleness of heart and of mind and of spirit. That's how God wants us to be, right? More moments of being on one accord and on the same page. And instead of having, okay, we good today, but tomorrow is a whole nother thing, and it's up and down and seesaw, like, oh, that's too much for me on my stress level and my noise. I want to be able to turn that off when I come home because I'm constantly pouring out, helping, I'm serving. I want to be nourished and filled. So I want it to be reciprocal because I'm definitely going to give you that. I do that all day. I'm a nurturer. I'm a builder. I'm an edifier. Kind of made that part up, but you know where I'm going, right? I'm constantly on that, but I love to receive. That's why I used to sit in front of the church when I was younger. I used to love to get fed. I'm like, all profound teacher, prolific at something, at some skill. We all are knowledgeable about different things. We don't have to be knowledgeable about the same thing. But when a man has a passion and purpose about it, he is in that thing, ooh, that's attractive. It's like, you better go, babe, do your thing. That's me. But yeah, I'm the one that sit on the front row at a conference or a workshop or something because I'm trying to take in, I'm trying to hear something. I'm like, wow, okay. I may take some notes sometime or make some mental notes. And because I'm a minister too, I always get a preachment. It doesn't matter. I can get a story or I make a sermon almost out of anything like that'll preach. I'll get something. And what happens is it's like, you know how you can get inspired by hearing a word, but you get a whole nother message, but it's because of what somebody may have said. I'm thinking about something. I'm like, oh my God, I got my message for today or for Sunday or whatever. Can't help it. That's a whole nother conversation. When you know you're gifted in a certain area, there's a grace in a certain area that you have. It's easy for you. It's like it's not hard. It just comes to you. That's how you can identify. But see, that happens a lot. It's beautiful. Embrace your single journey of learning yourself. Some of you are being reintroduced to yourself because you're coming out of stuff. You lived through some traumatic experiences. Enjoy getting to know who you are. Then you'll be able to articulate who you are to somebody else. Come on, somebody. Okay, I'm getting ready to make some fresh salmon, some corn, some peas, black-eyed peas. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a quick dinner, too, because salmon don't take long to cook. Then I'm going to sit my happy hips down. I may make some cornbread, but I must go to see if I feel like making cornbread, because I don't have any box cornbread. It's going to have to be from scratch today. Anyway, I just want to come on and have this conversation. Please, I want some feedback. What connects you to people? What attracts you to people? What draws you to somebody? What you looking for if you're single? Or what do you desire in your mate if you are married? Maybe you need to find a good, effective way of expressing that. Maybe you need to seek counseling or therapy or mentor, something where you can talk about that. Bring it to the table. Discuss it. Because if you're already in a relationship, you can always build and increase. If two people are willing, there's always room for improvement. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.